gives you better conversation about your quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen to
The New Orleans Talk Network.
Welcome back to the Hostage That Fight Back edition of Talk What You Know on the New Orleans Talk Network, where we live. We always live in the morning on Tuesday morning, Wednesday mornings here at the New Orleans Talk Network studios, talking about issues, talking about how to solve some of the issues in the city of New Orleans. We got an excellent show prepared for y'all today. It's an excellent end of the month, September the
19th.
September the 19th. And we got another 3.5 weeks to the election, Brother Mims.
Oh yeah. It's going, and we're gonna go into some peculiar, sensitive areas that may step on some people's feet. And I want to say, if I may, Terry, this is a very special day to me. 30 years ago today, it was a Friday night, my father was murdered. Shot in the back 5 times. 2 bullets pierced his heart on Bienville in North Galvez at a place called Russell's Place. My dad was walking away from the perpetrator, and it was a so-called friend, but our life changed right then. And I just wanted to know that that's why who I am and what I am today, because I would not be bought, I would not be compromised. I'm here for the long haul. I'm here for the duration of this show.
and listen, on the anniversary of Brother Mims' father passing away, we're still dealing with current issues in the city that's compared to how the situation went down with Brother Mims and his father. People are killing people at a rapid rate. I don't care what the people get on the news and saying. We're going to talk about that in a moment or so. But, rest in peace to Brother Mims' father. Died 30 years ago on this day, right?
Yes.
September the 19th, 30 years ago on this day. So, that's a hard pill to swallow.
But that's who I am. Terry, let me tell you, I had been clean from substance abuse for 4 years. And that's the closest I ever came to relapsing, Terry. I was looking for something to pacify and calm me and whatever. And I was looking at the drugs, the marijuana, the cocaine, the alcohol. But hey, bro, I went through the test, bro. I wanted to, and I'm telling you I wanted to, But with all that said, I just wanted to know that I lost a very special. And what I'm saying to people is that I know there are a lot of people. They average 2 or 300 people killed in New Orleans alone, and there are a lot of people, men, women, boys and girls, husbands, wives, cousins, and who have lost loved ones, and then their lives seemed like it was going to stop. I just wanted to know that there is life after homicides. We just gotta, it's not the alcohol, it's not the drugs, and some people have done some things they regret. But I just want to know that there ain't no perfect story, there's no perfect way to grieve, but there is life after homicides.
Give us a call, 504-341-8255, that's 341-TALK. Give us a live comment on the Facebook live comments on the New Orleans Talk Network fan page, jumping on the comments. Tune into the live stream, jumping on the comments. Let us know what you think about the conversation we're having this morning. Whoa, we got a
black man.
Got a black man.
A black captain. Huh?
With a black cape.
A black captain.
And a black fist on the line this morning. Top of the morning to you, Captain Black. What's happening, my brother?
Greetings, fellow safety creators. And on a serious note, Brother Mims, we'd like to take this moment to honor your father, because like Moses, he didn't make it to the promised land, but he did make you our number one crime fighter and mentor.
Thank you, Cap. You always say that, but you humble me, bro, and I really appreciate that, bro, who you are. And I got my...
Well, if you were a white man, it'd be on billboards.
Hey, son, bro, you got to wait for word.
Yeah, I mean, we just got to keep it 100, We We live in a time of extreme internal violence, and we can talk about the Tea Party, we can talk about Republicans, we can talk about conservatives. There's a lot to talk about. But the thing we need to also be talking about is why is it our men and boys and women and children get gunned down by other black people more than all other sources of violence directed at us combined? And why is it we don't take to the streets to march against that, to occupy street corners against that, to mediate that with the same energy we do, for instance, protesting dead white men in statues?
Yes, and Cap, did you hear, and to hear about this young lady, she's black, her and her boyfriend, husband, had an argument, and she killed him and dismembered him. She threw him in the dumpsters, all over the different areas. How you like that?
And guess what? Get some of your professional protesters out to go to his funeral. Won't do it.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, we just got to be honest. I mean, you can't let the hood rat high command be the ones who decide what's important in the black community and what isn't, because these are the same people who produce 100% of the criminals and the tragedies that all the rest of us have to deal with. So why would these be the people who get to call the shots, no pun intended, as to what is or isn't important in the black community?
Captain Black, good morning to you, my brother. How you doing? It's 2.0 right here.
What's happening, 2.0? Bank for a recite.
I'm cool, and I'm cool. It's sitting down eating some fried chicken and macaroni with the pretty little lady hooked up last night for dinner. I said, let me catch some of this news, see what's going on in New Orleans. Lo and behold, good friend of ours, Chief Harris, is on the news talking about the crime rate. And so I put my chicken down and listened what he was talking about.
He said that was important. He put
Yeah,
the chicken down.
Chicken down. You got to put your shrimp po' boy down.
You know what I'm
when the
saying?
superintendent is on TV.
So he goes into, talking to the news. I'm not sure if they planned this news interview or if they got the stats and ran over to go holler at Chief and see what's going on with those numbers. But it seemed like he was pretty excited to tell people that the murder rate is down from last year and previous years before. In 2016, we had 221 murders at this time last year. 121 murders on September the 18th at this time last year. And on 2017, it was 119. That's this year. So we 2 whole murders down from 2016. But they proceeded to talk about the shootings, and the shootings were up. In 2016,
way up, Cap.
We had 197 shootings, but in 2017 we had 247 shootings.
Well, we got to understand two things. Firstly, they got to try and take the attention off of 7 years. Mitch did nothing to improve flood protection here. And on the other end, and it's not Chief Harrison's fault, the second part, they've got to try to put a good face on the fact that Negroes, for whatever reasons, are out here shooting people at a rate that can't be justified. I don't care what side of the political spectrum you fit on. So they got to say, hey, good news. We've had 2 less murders. But unfortunately, and they kind of put their hands over their mouths, we've had more shootings this year. And this is the community you're dealing with. And if it was at full population, I fully believe that New Orleans murder rate would probably be in the 300 and 400s right now.
Wow.
So this is what we need to look at as black men, black fathers, for the 2 of you, a somewhat concerned black person, that's me. We all got to look at this and arrive at ways to combat it, because it's not going anywhere. It's getting worse. And we see that calming it, enabling it, making excuses for it has only produced more of it.
Cap, what you call the area from St. Claude area, the Meriden area is have an awful lot of shootings. The statistics show, man, what's going on? Gap. What's going on, bro? Listen to me. I wanted to say to our good old friend, the Inspector General, going to take a leave, and then he's not going to seek re-election. But let me say this to you. I picked up some information that most of the people who want to succeed him are Mitch's appointees, even from the civil service. I mean, Mitch. What did the city council and what were they doing when Mitch was doing all this stuff, bro?
I mean, these are valid questions to be put on the table. As Brother Mims, you and I talk about this offline often. What I always remind brothers is we're a coalition. That means some of us need to be asking city council officials, well, why is it you seemingly were asleep at the switch? I mean, last night, I was at a District C candidates forum with Nadine Ramsey and Christian Palmer.
Well,
Nadine, oh yeah, you know I was there.
But I'm saying that you gotta hold your nose and
oh yeah,
pull it up,
and I did the Mims approach. Nadine came up to me. I kissed her on the cheek. I said, "Hello, council member." Because the Mims approach is even if you disagree with somebody, you don't have to be ugly with them. They're not being ugly with you, then you shouldn't be ugly with them. So you still have your opinion. And we left with our opinions, and my opinion is that particularly when you're on the Public Works Commission, as the chair of the Public Works Committee, he said that they were lied, that the sewers and water board people lied to them and they didn't know what was going on. Well, it's valid to question that. And I know that I support a mayoral candidate, for instance, who is a city council person. And Brother Mims is supporting a mayoral candidate who is not. We have to, as a coalition, be able to make sure that our interests are represented in whatever camp is trying to be out there in the top spot instead of arguing with each other, saying, well, no, my person is better than your person. No, your person is worse than my person. We have to start being organized and make sure that our issues are at the table, regardless of whose table we're talking about.
Well, Cap, my anger is, and I want to be clear of this, I didn't ever mention anybody's name, but,
No, you didn't. You said city council.
I never mentioned, I said the city council. I said, how can y'all let Mitch do this? We think, look, we got that false sense of security, Cap. We thinking, if I remember, August 5th, a Saturday, we had a rain. Man, people were saying, oh, the pumps must not be running to the capacity. And they said, oh, yes, they are. They are. And then your boy Cedric, who's now retired rich, he said, get used to it. This is global. This is the new normal and the global warming. But my point was, I got grandchildren and nieces and nephews and babies. If that would have been on a weekday from Monday to Friday and the kids were in school, parents, especially mothers and buses, people, they would have had some problems. There would have been fatalities because people would have been trying to get their children from point A to point B. Cap, they spend $38 million in the school system in New Orleans alone, busing children. And that rain that came, it wasn't a hurricane.
No, it wasn't.
We wasn't ready.
No, it wasn't. And you know what, bro? I loved watching the former chairman of the Sewage and Water Board look angry because he doesn't feel like he needed to explain himself to anybody. The Negro tried to blame climate change. No, it wasn't climate change. Y'all didn't change the pumps. You didn't turn the pumps on.
Point blank, period.
Come on, man.
And Cap, where they get all this money from, bro?
Well, bro, see, that's the point. The money has always been there. It's just Who decides where it goes?
Yeah.
You don't decide where it goes.
But Cap, but I ain't never seen a truck, and I used to work for Sewage and Water Board, quietly kept. I was fired for being a whistleblower. They got rid of my behind, and the same thing. And I was mad, Cap. You know, Mark Morial, former two-time mayor, he was my attorney. I gave him information that would have scandalized everybody, but I'm still waiting for him to blow the whistle on her, bro. Hey, bro, what's going on? I was a sacrificial lamb, bro. You know, that's why I don't trust too many people, Cap. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He was a bright up and coming lawyer, but he also had ambitions to be mayor. And I think that he sold me. He sold me out. He compromised and quietly kept. I was a whistleblower. I was supposed to be protected from the whistleblowing code, but they got rid of my behind
for a long time, bro.
Yeah, they got rid of my. And look, Cap. But you know what? Just like the situation with my father, it was a tragedy. But things turned out. It turned my life around and made me different, made me better, bro. Because we got civil service, and I asked from Jason William on. I was asking the city council, and I quote myself, "What's going on?" And everybody was looking around. They didn't know. They had to ask the mayor. You know. So my point is, how can I have people that supposed to be representing me and I'm not gonna name no name, but some people got mad with me. They don't talk to me, don't speak to me no more. But I said the city council. I didn't say no names. I didn't say LaToya Cantrell.
See, they get mad at you. They gang up on you over there. Then they gang up on each other. I mean, they so divided right now in those council chambers till it's a shame. They're mad at one person giving contracts to another person when there's supposed to be a process that's going on.
And Cap,
racial tension is
we
flowing
still
through
got
our council right
we
now.
still got 52% black males unemployed. Am I right or wrong, Cap?
And nobody feels that's a crisis. That's the other end of this crazy equation.
But the white boys
The
that's
city,
coming
the
down here from
administration
other
talks
cities,
about the
they're not
economic
employed.
boom it's having, but it vehemently neglects the fact that the majority of your men from your majority population are unemployed and didn't take a vow of poverty. Not like these brothers had a meeting and
say that
said,
again, Cap. Say that, Cap.
We're not going to work. I mean, come on.
I mean, it's a two-headed monster right here. You got a group of people that don't want to work. They're living off of the government. They really don't care about where their next dollar coming from, because whenever they're ready to get it, they're just going to take it from somebody else. And then you got another group out here who's really trying, who's really struggling, who really wants to be a part of, paying taxes and, being a productive citizen. So and some of them, and in a lot of people's eyes, they're all criminals. Look, I'm a young black man with dreads in my head, and I walk up the street. Sometimes my pants are sagging, sometimes they not. But if you're gonna deem me a criminal before you even give me an opportunity to open up my mind, I ain't got a chance.
Hey, Cap, you know what, bro? I can say this: the staff they have here, small. I put them against any of these big radio stations, our competitors. Say, bro, they are quality, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we tried, Brother Mims, to get out there and make it happen for the city of New Orleans. Look, a lot of these people are pandering to their audience. To me, to be quite honest, I could sit here and talk all day to myself about some of these issues. I don't need an audience. I don't need a big old hill to get on top of and scream. All I need to do is continue to keep doing what we're doing here at the New Orleans Talk Network and talking about the issues and coming up with solutions. Whether you hear them or not, at least we are doing what we need to do, to come up with solutions. And not only that, we giving people a platform to call in or text in to tell us some of the solutions that they see, because I'm going to play some audio in the next, after the break, from one of our candidates out here that's in the race. It's Jason Williams. Look, I ain't got nothing against Jason Williams, but I seen an ad and it just made me scratch my head, like, to say to myself, what the hell is he talking about? Mm-hmm. What's so different from this ad that I seen from an ad 4 years ago, the ads 8 years ago, the ads. I seen Ray Nagin run. It's like the same person who wrote Ray Nagin ads wrote Jason Williams content for his ad, and there are no solutions in his ad. It's just that he's stating the obvious. And I'm like, well, we tired of people stating the obvious. We need real solutions. Look, I ain't got nothing against the brother. I think, he was a great leader for the city of New Orleans in some aspects. He stood up for some things in the city of New Orleans, but he has been there for 8 years now, and it has not been a change. It's like firing Sean Payton and putting Dennis Allen as head coach. And he was there when everything was going down. Just clean house. I'm calling for the city of New Orleans. They need to clean house. Straight up. And you need to go out here and find real community leaders who have the capacity to get the job done. Just my humble opinion. But hey, what the hell? So we'll be playing some. Hey, Captain, we got another call on the line. I really appreciate you for calling in.
Hey, I love you, man. And look, bro, I'll see you today later on, yeah?
All right, then.
Thank you, Captain
be
Black.
safe, bro. Keep doing
Peace and hair grease.
This is the Hostages That Fight Back edition. That was Captain Black, ladies and gentlemen. If you wanna go back and watch some of them shows on the New Orleans Talk Network YouTube channel with Hostages That Fight Back, we have over I'm gonna have to say 30 shows there. Pick one. And I promise you're going to hear some content that you never heard before coming from Captain Black and Brother Alvin Mims when Captain Black used to come over in studio. Give us a call, 504-341-8255. We got Cameron on line 2. What it do, Cameron? What's happening with you, my brother? Top of the morning to you.
Good morning, and thank you again for having me.
Say, Cameron, we was looking at the news last night. I had to put my chicken down because Chief Harrison was on the news last night talking about 2016, 2017 crime stats, and we were talking about the two major stats, which is murders and shootings. Murders are down by a whopping 2 murders, and shootings are up like the stock market, the Dow Jones, from 2016 to 17, from 197 to 247. I mean, is that anything to brag about, Cameron?
Not actually really, because, down by 2 whole murders, wow, that's a big drastic change, but you got shootings that are up. So, are the criminals, are getting dumb at aiming or what? Or they just don't care anymore?
Exactly. Honestly, I kind of credit it to the new hospital they got, the new trauma center they have around there. I think they're saving more lives.
Cameron.
They be giving praise to the hospital, right?
Yeah.
Where's the praise to the hospital for saving more damn lives? Because you had more people shot last year. At this point last year than last year. 247 people ain't getting shot in the ass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So kudos to the doctors saving more lives.
Exactly.
Talking about damn murders are down.
Good morning, Joy. You there, Cam?
No,
tell her good morning. Listen, Cam, I see a lot of your papa in you, your grandfather and your uncle. Hey, man, what you said, what do we got to brag about, man? Big. Two. Deuce here. Deuce.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, listen, again, I'm not trying to sit here and bash Mr. Harrison. I got a great question for you coming up, Cameron. I'm not sitting here trying to bash Mr. Harrison. Lord knows he has a lovely family. He's doing everything that he can for the city of New Orleans. But don't sound enthusiastic about 2 less people getting killed, my brother. I'm calling a spade on this one.
Well, let me say something too. I got issues with they always the biggest part of the budget. And no more money for not another quarter for the French Quarter, and I'm tired of them. The other parts of the city are starving. The East, Central City, and others, but they want more money for what?
And yet we got a lot of homeless people underneath the bridge.
Oh, Cameron, what I always tell you, son, I said when you think you're having a bad day, go look under the bridge, huh?
Right.
Exactly.
Now they got babies.
Metaphor.
They got kids.
Children under that bridge, literally.
They can't go to school without an address.
Cameron, let me ask you a question, my brother.
Yes,
Would
sir.
you rather see a current politician get the mayor seat, or would you rather see someone that's not involved in politics right now in New Orleans get that mayor seat?
I'd rather see somebody not in politics, and I know some candidates or people who support them probably listening. And frankly, I don't really care, but I'm going to speak the truth because I'm a young black male who's seen a lot in this neighborhood and who's seen a lot in this city. And I'm just going to say it, Frank, this city doesn't need another politician. What we need is a regular person, everyday person who's hardworking, who knows about the community, who knows what the community needs, what the people need, and what this city needs.
That sounds like you, Terry.
I mean, I totally agree with
That
Cam.
sound like you,
I mean, these people have been sitting up here screaming and hollering at citizens of the city of New Orleans. They got their little committee meetings down there. They got all kind of meetings going on. I just see a lot of disrespect happening, and these are coming from people holding the current seat. None of them, to me, in my eyes, are compassionate enough to take this city to a whole nother level because they're not heartfelt candidates.
Well,
I mean,
right,
people have to believe in your leadership, and how the hell you expect us to believe in y'all when y'all was here the whole time all of this was happening?
Cam, can I say this, bro? You know, a lot of these candidates are running for re-election and want to go a higher office, want a promotion. They're mad with your dad. And I ask you, Cameron, for what?
Because you speak the truth. You call them out on things that they don't do. And within the 8 years, or I should say 10, or, rather since Hurricane Katrina, I haven't really seen any changes within the city. Politicians, the ones who are up for re-election, frankly, we don't even need them. Kick their behinds out, and you know what I mean. But we don't really need them. What we need is, like I said, we need just a regular person, a regular citizen, really. We don't need another politician. Cause I see advertisers saying, I served this on this committee, or I served this that, or whatever. Well, that's fine and dandy, but if your work doesn't speak for it, then why are you telling me this? Like, I need to know that.
I mean,
just show
Cameron, listen, in our neighborhood, what do I do every morning, every evening, mostly all day? What do I do?
Clean up trash and making sure the neighborhood looks good.
I mean, it's the little things. I mean, I think Brother Alvin Mims right here would be a good candidate because, look, some of the things we don't need someone who's going to rub the people the wrong way. We need someone who's not afraid to get out here and do the things that need to be done. And not only that, influence the community to stand up and flourish and become the community that it can be if the right leadership is put in place. So we need love in that seat. We don't need some military sergeant with this political agenda. And New Orleans has a great political agenda right now. Let's just let all the things that Mitch put in place see itself through, and let's get somebody who's all about the community for the next 4 years.
And it's sad to say, but you hit the nail on the head when you say community. That's the one thing I haven't heard any of the, candidates, whether it's mayor or city council, talk about the community. I hear them talk about, all these things that they've done, where they graduated from, what they done, where they have served at. But I haven't seen none of them talk about, and they mainly talk about the police budget and everything. Let the police budget handle itself out right now. We're about putting money in the community, putting money in centers and after-school programs for these kids or whatever.
How many of them, and look, Cameron, and that's a great point. How many of them are talking about putting money into the community centers back there? How many of them are talking about putting more money into the recreation departments in the city of New Orleans? How many of them are actually talking about getting out here? Look, getting out here and putting churches together, because these churches on every corner, the church is the community in a lot of these communities. How many of them are talking about getting out here and starting special programs within the churches and helping these churches with these non-profit organizations get the proper loans that they need?
My son, look, Cameron, ouch. Money. We can't even talk about what we want from God before they talk about money, huh?
And you're right, because the church is struggling, and I want to commend the church because a lot of these churches in the city are doing what they need to, but they don't have the right funding and the supplies that they need to get a lot of these programs started, and that's where we need a lot of these candidates to come in at. But I have yet to hear a candidate talk about putting money back in the community or putting it back into a church or putting it back into a youth center program or whatever like that. It's ridiculous that all they worried about is the city first and not worrying about, the people of the city.
Cameron, you and I have I'll be picking your brain many times. What do you say about these three top candidates? I think Latoya Cantrell, who was out representing our district, and Charbonnet, former judge, and Beck-Neris. They all got all this money. They're the top three. Does that impress you?
No, that doesn't impress me because if you really want my honest opinion, you use that money and put into a program or a community or something. And invest within the community. Don't just I spend this much money or I spend millions of dollars on my campaign or whatever. Well, that's fine. But if you're not really, I have yet to hear anybody say that. Oh, I'm starting this up right now. I'm not even worried about the mayoral race. I'm worrying about the people of the city. It's like it's like a dog-eat-dog world, and it's a sad thing to say, but that's what it is. It's a dog-eat-dog world.
New Orleans politics at its finest. We got to take a quick break, Cameron. We appreciate you calling in, my brother. Hot fires coming from the call this morning. We got Captain Black, who is in support of a current candidate, and no one's mad at that at all. But this is why we dialogue. This is why we have these discussions. Me, I am in support of a non-candidate, a person who hasn't served yet. Something fresh, new. All this experience. I'm so sick and tired of hearing about people experience.
And I love you, son. You have a great day, huh?
This is the anniversary of Brother Mims, New Orleans activist. No one is better suited to talk about this anniversary of his father's murder, shot in cold blood 30 years ago in the city of New Orleans. And it's 2000, it was 1987? September 19th in 1987. Here we are, September 19th in 2007. And we are still losing fathers at a rapid rate. Fuck your experience. New Orleans is going through an experience. We'll be right back. Excuse my language. But I mean, look, when I come back, I'm going to show y'all what experience is. And then we're going to break down experience. We're going to read in between the dang on lines. We're going to break down the experience. And I got to do it to you, my brother. I'm sorry. We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Y'all going to see what I'm talking about when we come back. This ain't fan music. This is Talk What You Know on the New Orleans Talk Network, the Hostages That Fight Back edition.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
What's up, readers and shakers? It's your girl, Rhonda M. Lawson, sending you a personal invite to the Literary Lounge. Tune in to Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions each Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the best in literary conversation. Each week, a different author will join us to talk to their most important readers, you. You can also call in to ask your own questions. So don't forget, each Wednesday at 7 p.m., join us in the lounge for Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. See you there.
Hi, I'm Linda Lewis with Lewis Armstrong Family Services here live at New Orleans Talk Network. We're here every Thursday at 11 a.m. Come join us. Thank you.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on the Gulf Coast that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
Nobody gives you better conversation about your quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen to
The New Orleans Talk Network.
Welcome back to the Hostages That Fight Back edition. I'm Terrick Jones. Don't forget the senior, Brother Alvin Mims.
Junior, don't forget the junior.
Don't forget the junior.
My daddy was a senior.
His daddy was a senior. Rest in peace to his soul. My brother, I know you're shining the light down on us today.
I'm in good spirits, Terry.
I'm glad to hear you in good spirits.
I used to say, I lost my father, but when you lose something, you don't know where it's at. I know my dad's at.
You know where he at.
And to get this far, I think he'd be proud because the devil meant it for bad. I'm not trying to get spiritual on y'all, but I am. The devil meant it for bad, but God meant it for good. And, hey, there's some good things happening. I'm telling you, bro, I'm like a Timex. I take a licking and keep on ticking.
Keep on ticking. And I want to say rest in peace to my good friend Prince, who passed away from a burst. His appendix burst. And he left behind a family, some kids and stuff like that. A wonderful person from Avondale, Kennedy Heights. A lot of people knew him. Yeah, Prince. And they buried him last Monday. And rest in heaven, my brother. And we're celebrating your life from here on out. So listen, getting back to the show. Listen, we talking about the stock market murder rate in the city of New Orleans. It's up, it's down, it's up and it's down. It's just like gas prices. You know what I'm saying? So, 2016, 221 people killed on September the 18th. 2017 on September. These numbers come out yesterday on the news, last night, y'all. 119 murders this year. A whopping 2 of a difference. Maybe someone over there at the brand new beautiful hospital that they built in the heart of the city has been saving lives. Somebody know how to do their damn job.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, look, leave it up to the doctors to save the city of New Orleans, because I swear, these highly educated politicians, they went and got their Yale University degrees, and they done work for this one, and they done work for that one, and they done got this experience, and they done work this budget out, they done work for this New Orleans Superdome, and they created budgets for this, and budget here, and budget there, and budgets all over the goddamn place. I just go to Budget Saver for some dang on corn with a cute porn. Look, I'm about to get ready to play this video for a council at large candidate. He's an African-American candidate, which currently holds a council seat. He's been here for the last 8 years, through all of the devastation we've witnessed, through all of the murders we've seen, through all of the children who've been shot, through all of the terroristic acts that happened in the city of New Orleans. I'm going to call them terroristic acts. The Mother's Day shooting. And he wants you to elect him to be council at large. And I have no dog in this fight. But I'm going to play this video so we can digest what this brother is talking about. Play the video for me, super producer Mike.
No child is born a criminal, yet too many in New Orleans wind up walking that troubled path. And when they take an innocent life, we're robbed of not one, but 2 futures. But no child is born a criminal. And if we can carve a new path that replaces poverty with prosperity, ignorance with education, and hopelessness with hope, we'll not only save our city, we'll save our children.
Elect Jason Williams.
Well, I heard that before. Not re-elect.
Council at large.
Not re-elect. I'm saying, where have I heard that address, that speech before?
It sounded like some stuff Ray Nagin was saying.
Yeah, I'm saying to you, my brother, you're exactly right. You got a long memory, bro. You like an elephant. You don't forget.
Sound like some stuff one of the Moriels would come up with. Mm-hmm. This has been the message of the past decade in New Orleans. You don't need a candidate to get on a damn... I found this video on Facebook. To get on social media and continue to talk about some of the things that's been plaguing the city with no solutions. Now, he spoke about replacing ignorance with education. You calling us ignorant? You calling the criminals out? You calling people like Cardell Haynes ignorant? You're talking about criminals taking innocent lives. A lot of the things that I see It's isolated incidents, and these are criminals taking other criminals' lives. These are killers taking other killers' lives. Okay, these are a lot of the killers you see in the city are revenge shootings.
Kill or be killed.
Retaliation. So both of them was criminals. So who was innocent in that whole thing? Now the man walking down the street in the French Quarters get punched in the back of the head. Maybe he died, maybe he doesn't. They're innocent. A child sitting on a porch playing with a little brother. I see. We get to you. Call it. Don't go nowhere. We get to you in a moment. 504-341-8255 is the number to get involved. Hit us up on a live chat. We just played Jason Williams' campaign ad for council at large. The only thing I agree with him about is prosperity. I agree with him about our children. Okay, but our children are not ignorant. All of these kids, majority of them, are going through an educational system. I'm going to say overwhelmingly majority. If you got 100 kids in the city of New Orleans, one of them won't be going to school. So stop putting our children out there like, let's save the kids, and using these children as a pawn. Because the kids are not killing people. Majority of them, overwhelming majority of them, are not growing up to be criminals. Okay? It's the system, it's the community that's turning them into criminals.
Come on.
Okay? All of them are innocent. You're absolutely right, Mr. Williams. All of them are innocent. But it's the community that's turning them into criminals. It's lack of parenting that's turning them into criminals. And let's not forget, there is evidence, scientific evidence that proves that DNA violence can be transferred from one human being to another through DNA. So in some cases, children may be born with a violent strain of DNA in them. They need special assistance. Their attitudes may be a little bit messed up because it's genetically transferred. So in some cases, some kids start off with this genetic thing happening with them, and they can be a violent person. Okay, so some kids are born violent. It has to be curbed. Okay, Mr. Williams, get your facts together. My brother, you're educated. You got more of education than me. You know what I'm saying? You got more schooling than me. But it's common sense common these days, Brother Mims?
Common no more, bro.
Stop trying to sound like an educated person and sound like somebody who cares about what's happening in the city of New Orleans. I could have did a better job writing that for you, my brother. Call Terrick Jones at New Orleans Talk Network. If you want a commercial to get done, I'll write it for you. Come up in here, we do the commercial, and I promise you it's going to be compassion in it, and it's going to be heartfelt. Or find somebody else to make a commercial like this. You shouldn't even done that. You should have said, nah, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do this. You paid somebody to put this out. You literally paid somebody for this message, this ad that only got 8,000 views. Only 8,000. Call are you there?
Yes. Good morning, my brothers. How y'all doing?
Top of the morning to you, my brother. Are you a new call? Or I'm trying to hear your voice and figure out who you is.
Nah, no sir. This brother Aaron, man. Shout out to the Fatherhood Roundtable, man.
Ooh, Fatherhood Roundtable. Listen, I was supposed to be there. Brother Mims, we had the mega garage sale.
But let me say this to you. Your message was there. Your message
That's right.
was there. Don't worry. But your message precedes you.
The Fatherhood Roundtable was this Saturday. Y'all ate good, my brother?
Oh, yes, indeed. We ate good, not only the physical food, but the mental food.
The mental food. Food for thought.
One of the big
and
things
the spiritual food.
One of the greatest things what you said, my brother, you wasn't even at the meet, but that's one of the biggest things we talked about was the parenting. Because whatever you teach your children, even sometimes the things that you don't teach your children are like a sponge. Whatever they soak up, that's what they're going to regurgitate. No matter how you look at it.
And kids, look, they got this, right now, my kids are in the greatest stage of their lives when it comes to parenting because they all them sponges and they just soaking up everything that daddy telling them. Look, whether if it's good or bad, daddy gonna tell them. But it's gonna reach a point to where I'm not gonna be able to reach them no more because they're gonna become young teenagers. And that's when the community starts to take over. Okay, the peer pressure, the friends, okay? You might have some friends hanging out in the circle smoking weed, whatever, These days, they don't tell them what kind of drugs these kids are taking, they're getting their hands on. But that's when the parenting comes into place, when they start going out the house and hanging out with the kids and making lifelong friends. And that's where the peer pressure starts to come in at, and that's where the parenting really comes in effect at. And I just think we have a lack of parenting in the boroughs in our community. We got a lot of strong communities out there, but if you got 10 parents on the block, only 5 of them are giving strong parenting, and the other 5, let's just say 3 of them are not there because they have to work all the time, so the kids are pretty much raising themselves, and the other 2 is just a hellhole in their house. So those 2 kids or those 3 kids that's coming out the house of hellhole are real good friends with the kids whose parents are teaching them to do things the right way. So can you see how the peer pressure kind of like comes together? You got good kids, you got kids who haven't had great parenting, and they're good friends. Can you see how kids could be influenced to do things that normally wouldn't happen had they had the right friends? And that's not even talking about what's happening when the kids, all kids have good parenting. This is not a precise science. I'm only dealing with the law of averages, because a kid could come from a household where there's drugs and there's a lot of sex going on and prostitution and end up growing up to be a great productive citizen and doing great things in this country. So there's no exact science to it. But what I'm trying to say is we're giving our kids more of a chance of becoming statistics if we don't give them the right tools.
That's right.
Can you talk about
what you said about that DNA strand? Also, that's also important. I remember. Now I'm just 31, but I remember there was a time to where when you brought somebody home, the first thing they ask you, what's your name, your last name, and where you come from. Now, they didn't have computers like we have today, but I guarantee you, them grandmas and them big mamas, they made sure that they did that background on their last name. They said, nah, they ain't no good for you. Their family was crazy, this one was that, and they was always right. It's like today, we got children raising children. And it's all in how a person has been raised. However they've been raised, they're going to raise their children. It's like, I'm painting this picture for you. It's like if you a pastor, right, and I'm the reverend underneath you. Once you die, what I'm going to take and try to run the church the same way how you ran it. But that's not the way that's supposed to go.
And leadership transfers. Look, you hear this old saying, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. But you have to realize everything needs tuning up. Everything needs proper maintenance. If I'm a pastor of a church that was underneath the pastor of a church, everything, nothing is perfect. Whatever, let's say I take over the church, whatever was done wrong, I want to make a change with that. Whatever we done right, I want to build on that so we can continue to keep growing. And in our community, we haven't done that as well as we're supposed to have done. But I really want to talk about some of the key points that was said and some of the key things that happened at the Fatherhood Roundtable this Saturday morning. Can you enlighten us on some of the great moments that happened at the Fatherhood Roundtable annual breakfast?
Oh man, it was so many. But the good thing, what I liked about it, our kids was able to interact with most of the politicians that's running, and they was able to sit back and listen and dialogue with one another to find out what their platform was going to be. Most of our kids, most of them, they're young. They really don't understand politics, but they had the opportunity to sit down with some of the council members and talk to them, some of the people that's running for judges and some of these great lawyers that's out here, and try to understand, to make them understand how they got to the road that's leading them to where, they're going at. And to me, that might be small, but I mean, to me, that's something major, because if you look within our community, most of our kids don't even know our politicians. The question burns in my mind.
I hope you're listening, Mr. Jason Williams.
Is that the community's fault, or is that the politician's fault?
I hope you're listening. I hope every last candidate has somebody in their campaign watching this show this morning, okay? Stop panhandling for votes. Those votes are going to come. If New Orleans got 100,000 people in the city, if 20,000 of them voted 4 years ago, damn it, 20,000 of them voting this time. That's not about to change. The only way you're going to get these numbers up.
Hats off to was the independent police monitor. The reason why I love and respect her so much because I listened to her. She was on a radio show one time, and it was the other crowd, should I say, you know. But one thing about her, she doesn't change based on the conversation or the community. Whatever she gonna say on New Orleans Talk Radio, she gonna say the same thing on the other radio station. You know how most of the politicians, the conversation depends on the crowd who they trying to appease. She don't have that, man, bro. And for the politicians that is listening, be yourself. Be who you are. Remain true to yourself at the end of the day, because that's who you got to deal with. I understand you trying to get in, but at the end of the day, you got to remain true to who you are. Because when you try to be all these other people, you're going to mess around and get yourself trying to identify with all these other identities that you know nothing about.
And that's what you call being a puppet. You're nothing but the little puppet. And most of these people have strings dangling from them. They get up in there and they be like they're a strong candidate. But by the time that 2-year cycle up, you're nothing but the little puppet.
I'm not going to vote or support anybody that Mitch is endorsing, because what are you going to give him? What you promising?
And I want to thank the call for coming through. We're about to get ready to wrap up the show.
Thank you, Gray House.
Appreciate y'all, man.
That was some key points. Listen, I forgot. Excuse my bad, Gray House. I wanted to ask you. It slipped my mind if you could call right back. He still there?
Uh-huh.
Hey, Gray House, let me ask you a question. Would you rather see a current politician get this mayoral seat, or you want to get somebody brand new who's never served in politics before to win this seat? Who would you give your vote to?
I'll give my vote to somebody who never served before. And the reason why, because the people that's been there, what have they done besides what I said, appeasing to the people that got them in? If you ain't did nothing for me, I'm gonna spend my time trying to get back at you because you didn't support me. Now, my supporters, y'all going to be good. I'm going to make sure y'all good. But the people that didn't support me, my agenda going to be trying to get back and walk over y'all and show y'all I'm the man. I won this. I did this. I'm the woman. I did this. And we got to stop that, because that right there is bringing us further and further apart than it's bringing us together.
Thank you, Gray House.
Thank you, my brother. I love you, man. Tell your wife I say hello.
Peace.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, cats and dogs, who that say who ain't, Saints fans, Patriot fans, Minnesota fans. You know what I'm saying? We have a problem here. Look, I think people, and here it comes. We need to stop this talent show type campaigning, falling for the bananas in the tailpipes every time in the city of New Orleans. We always go to the candidate with the most glitter. We always go to the candidate who sound like they know what they're talking about.
You're going to ban you from New Orleans.
Running to the candidate
who
go up in there and kissing babies.
Even
and
the black community, they're
going
to get you, bro. I'm telling you. They're gonna...
Look, Negroes need to get their mind right and get off the fashion show. This ain't no fashion show. This is real. You want your city to stop flooding? Pay attention. You want the parking meters to stop being so dang on high? Pay attention.
Hey, bro, $2.
Pay attention.
$2 for 6 hours.
Pay attention.
$2 for 6 hours.
I promise you, these children know when the next second line coming up.
No, $6 for 2 hours. I'm sorry.
I mean,
sorry. $6.
Our babies know who beefing in the neighborhoods.
Yes. We don't have a clue what's going on.
Our children cuss better than professional comedians.
Yes, indeed.
They know. If our children can retain the information they retain in these communities, don't you think they ought to know who their local leaders are? I am so glad to hear the brothers say that the kids got a chance to interact with politicians, because Lord knows they're interacting with drug dealers. Lord knows they're interacting with people who don't do no good. Lord knows they're interacting with these down bad ministries. We bringing up our kids in ministries that don't care nothing about our community.
You're going to get in trouble, bro.
All these mega churches. You know what I'm saying?
You got to have a name tag to know who you are.
I mean, it don't make no sense. sometimes that small town theme could be a good thing. You don't need everything to be big and extravagant. You know, you don't need all of this. All you need is love and TLC. You know what I'm saying? All we need is people who truly care about where the money is going. Because I know for a fact that you're not going to be able to hire more police officers. Whatever process that's going to take is going to be that in the next 8 years. If you're only bringing on 15 more now in a year, and I can see the next 4 years, you're going to be hiring 15 every year. So stop trying to piss on my leg and call it rain. That's not going to work.
You're going to get in trouble, bro. You in trouble already.
I'm calling on the people of New Orleans to pay attention. In my humble opinion, you need a janitor to be the mayor. I'm going to tell you why you need a janitor to be the mayor. Because what a janitor do?
Clean up.
Clean up.
And you need a clean up man.
You need a clean up man right now. You need to clean house.
I need to clean up woman.
Every damn body. And start all over.
All over.
I mean, for the events that happened on August the 5th, if you're not a judge, you need to be getting fired this upcoming election. Okay? If you're not a judge or a DA or a constable, fire their asses. That goes for Miss LaToya too. And I was high on LaToya. But after August the 5th, after all this hit, look, I believe there's a Lord Jesus Christ, and I believe he's trying to show the people of New Orleans something. The city flooded like that for a reason, to show everybody all these people that's sitting up here ain't worth the damn thing. They're not worth the ground they walk on. They penny with holes in them. And she could do better. You could do a whole lot better. That goes for everybody. I don't care if you're white. I don't care if you're brown. I don't care if you're black. City of New Orleans needs to fire every damn body in that council chambers, council at large. Everybody needs to go. Fire them right now and start over clean.
I lost our trust, bro.
How can you trust these people? They lied to you. And look, New Orleans Talk Network gonna be all right. We don't need your campaign funds. You don't need to advertise on our network. We run 5 different businesses out this business. We gonna be all right over here. We don't need your campaign money. But what I need you to do is call and check me. Call me. If I'm wrong,
that's a dare, huh?
Call here.
That's a dare, huh?
Come here. Skype in. Talk to me. We don't need you advertising on our network because I don't need. Look, if you want to advertise, come on. I'm going to advertise you. Because Lord knows you need to put your agenda out there. You need to get the word out there as much as you can. So I accept your money, but I promise you, I'm not taking no sides with this one because I honestly feel like all y'all need to go after August the 5th. And then you're going to sit there and point the finger at people. You won't fire people. Y'all all knew them damn pumps wasn't working. Y'all all knew that those pumps needed hundreds and thousands of dollars to be repaired. You can't tell me this is information you did not know. And if you didn't know it, then you're not the person for the job anyway. No shit's supposed to be popping up on you like that. You caught you by surprise? I've hired you so you don't get caught by surprises. You're supposed to know this already. So everybody got to go. Just like they calling for everybody on the Saints coaching staff to go because they can't win a football game when New Orleans been losing for the last 4 years too. Saints ain't the only damn team around here losing. Everybody got to go. October the 14th. Vote with your mind and your heart. Listen to what the Lord Jesus Christ is trying to tell y'all. He gave us the sign as a warning before destruction, people. Murders, shootings, tourism, education, a lack of proper funding. Look, my producer let me know. That's my rant, y'all. We got a special event coming up in the month of October. We got breast cancer awareness. My grandfather back in 1992 died from breast cancer. So women are not the only people who get breast cancer. In the month of October at 11 o'clock a.m. to 12:30 p.m., each Thursday out the month, we will be doing a special broadcast here at the New Orleans Talk Network in an effort to raise funds. I call it the live stream-a-thon.
And I'll be supporting that too because breast cancer running my family too.
We're gonna have business owners coming in the building. We're gonna get sponsors. We're gonna get people to help us fund this, and we're gonna do a great thing. We're gonna have a special event come up October the 12th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. for small businesses to brand themselves for a good cause, for a worthy cause. We want y'all to come by the New Orleans Talk Network. Let's dialogue about what it's going to take to get your business popping on social media, because social media is the future of advertising. So the traditional ways of advertising are still, it's still, valid, but you definitely want to look at the next 5 years on how you're going to advertise your business, because things are happening on social media that we want to inform y'all about. And also we're trying to raise some funds to donate to Susan G. Komen, Race for Cure. So we're going to be donating proceeds from the event to Susan G. Komen to help find a cure for breast cancer and stuff like that. Again, women are not the only ones that get breast cancer. Men get breast cancer too. So my grandfather died from it, and we really this is something near and dear to me. I love my grandfather. He died back in 1992, and he was the world to me, and I was the first one of his grandkids to start crying at the funeral. I remember it like it was yesterday. So I mean, this is something near and dear to me. I'm gonna put all my foot in these broadcasts coming up to raise money and awareness, and we're still considering going out there and running for the actual race. I think I'm gonna have to sign up and run for the first time. This will be my first official time running in any marathon. So, I'm gonna sign up to do that, and it's gonna be in the name of my grandfather, Thomas Jones Sr. And I know he's shining that bright light down on this situation right now, and he's putting it on my heart to do this. So that's what we're going to be doing, and y'all stay tuned for that, and please get involved with the Thursday broadcast that we're going to be doing, because we're trying to raise money and we're trying to raise awareness here. We're trying to brand businesses at the same time. So we got a lot of things going on. So the New Orleans Talk Network and Boomers Lifestyle Network has teamed up, and we want you, that special business, to team up with us as well as we tackle the cure for breast cancer. That's our time on the Hostages That Fight Back edition of Talk What You Know Tuesday morning. I am Terrick Jones,
host,
Brother Mims. Terrick Jones Sr., don't forget the senior, a.k.a. 2.0.
Nobody like you nowhere near you.
You know what I'm saying? Look, they say the truth hurts. They say keep your friends near you, but your enemies even close. So if I'm out here making enemies, get close to me. Because if I made you as an enemy today, there's a reason why you don't like me. The reason is you may disagree with what I had to say, but I didn't do nothing wrong. I just said something you didn't agree with. But call and let me know how you disagree, because dialogue is key to change. If we don't talk about it, how can we get to this point? So if I say something you disagree with, I'm not going to argue and fuss with you, but we can debate about it. I'm not the smartest person, okay? I'm not the sharpest tool in the box. My mind can be changed. I can see things from a different way. But as of right now, I see it because I'm leaning on an understanding of what I put together, me and Brother Mims put together. But if we're wrong, let us know next Tuesday morning. Or chime in on the chat. I keep up with you all week long. Inboxes. Let me know if acknowledge me, correct. In the words of Lil Wayne, I'm going to close with this. In the words of the great rapper Lil Wayne, correct me when I'm wrong, but acknowledge me when I'm right. Brother Mims?
Hey, you said it all, bro.
There you go. We see you next Tuesday morning. 8 a.m. sharp.